I think another massive source of pressure, the culture of respecting your parents, and what your parents say goes, and your parents essentially will set out the map of your life.
So many kids are trapped by trying to make their parents happy, but you need to try and get your parents to be on your level and trying to make them understand that your dreams will eventually and ultimately make them happy, because your smile will put a smile on their faces.
I think ultimately it does come down to, is it worth the risk, is it worth the drama to sort of lock horns with your parents over the, and I would say yeah.
My name's Stephen, I'm a Warwick student and I study classics, and today I've been invited by Blessing to join in this video. I hope you guys enjoy it, and big thanks to Blessing for giving me this opportunity.
Wait, I'm going back. Alright, hi guys, so welcome to another episode of the Wokeness and Wellness series. So today we decided to get together to talk to you about something that we realised that we have in common a lot, and I think a lot of kids sort of from similar backgrounds to us can also relate to. When your dreams don't really match what your parents' ideas of success are, and sort of finding
the balance between finding what traditional success is and what contemporary and our dreams and what our success is, and this balance of what is being happy and what is being successful for our parents and ourselves. And can we find some sort of thing that kind of joins them together and try and find
and meet in the middle.
Yeah,
because I think culturally there's such a gulf between even just our parents and our grandparents, and if you with the context of immigrants, in terms of my first generation grandparents versus me and my baby brothers, we all have different ideas and
So they've all had different experiences. So my grandparents moved from India, they came to UK, had to work really hard trying to make a foundation for themselves. Then we have my parents' generation who started to become educated, no more of the working class, started becoming middle class. And now there's my generation where it's completely different.
That's such a great way of putting it. It's literally, what does it mean to make it?
Yeah.
Because I think generationally it's changed over time.
Because I study classics, so they initially said, so what job are you going to do with that, and what's the payment like? So how stable is that job? And just
how much money does it make?
How much money are you gonna make? Great, yeah, I'm earning like 100k, 80k, whatever, but there's not a smile on your face. So that money is literally worthless unless you get a job that you're gonna be going to work thinking this is not even work. I'm happy. I'm doing what I want to do, and your quality of life will be so much better because you'll be thinking you're being an active, productive member in society, and you then can inspire other people who are in a similar situation, saying yes, it's worth the risk. Don't follow those standard routes that your parents have been telling you, because at the end of the day, your happiness is the most important thing.
If you actually look and think, you know, this fulfills me, whatever this happens to be, do that. And our parents, I think, at the bottom line, all any of them want for us is to be happy and be successful. I think ultimately it does come down to, is it worth the risk, is it worth the drama to sort of lock horns with your parents over the, and I would say yeah.
So a thing that parents normally focus on is like the outside world and their opinion of your family, so what the community will say about you, and you know, having those bragging rights, saying, yep, my child does this, my
kid's a lawyer, my kid's a that,
my kid's a doctor, blah blah blah. But when a member of that community meets you and you're not there, you're there not smiling, your aura is just so cold. That's sad, because really your parents are trying to be proud of you, but you're not even proud of yourself. So many kids are trapped by trying to make their parents happy, but you need to try and get your parents to be on your level and trying to make them understand that your dreams will eventually and ultimately make them happy, because your smile will put a smile on their faces.
I think another massive source of pressure, if the culture of respecting your parents, and what your parents say goes, and your parents essentially will set out the map of your life. Out of respect for my mum, those are the goals I set myself. But what happens a lot, and you know, when we're seeing, because we're even talking more about mental health within people of colour and within our communities, because we don't really talk about what that does to you to sort of feel like if you do not fulfill a certain goal, you've done disrespect to your parents. That feeling is horrible. And it's what I think so many of my friends, when they're grafting so hard and setting these goals that, not that they're impossible, but they take a lot of energy, and they're struggling because we do it for them. But one thing I have learned from my mum is that she did stuff independently. She did not follow any set path by any means. And she is where she is at now because she did it by herself and she did it her own way. So what I've tried to do is say, look, I respect you and I respect what you've done, and I respect that you wouldn't respect me if I didn't feel passionately about something, and this is what I feel passionately about. For all of us who are sort of struggling with how do I not disrespect my parents by choosing something that they haven't already set out for me, and you can see that as long as you put 150%, as long as you really throw your energy behind it and all of your creative intellectual energy and make something out of whatever you choose to do, I don't know how that's disrespecting your parents.
No, because you're proving like every effort they've put into you, they've made this foundation for you, and you're gonna take advantage of that and make the most of it. And making the most of it is being successful in your own little way.
Exactly. On the Wokeness Wellness series, the point is positivity and solutions. So, you know, we have some ideas of sort of how, if you're in this situation, how you can sort of work out of it, or steps you can take to sort of make the situation a bit better for you.
Everyone is born with some sort of skills and some sort of passion. Bring that out, make it into something. They might not be able to see your picture at first, but if you paint that picture for them and be like, look how great it can be, and look how great I'm going to be, they'll understand you. And that's how you kind of find a solution of trying to pursue your own dreams. If you prove to them it is worth it, things you can do is kind of outline what your plan is and try and stick to that plan. So say by this year I'll try and do this. I'm gonna educate myself in this way. I'm gonna do some sort of training. I'm gonna get some sort of work experience. Show that you're doing something actively productive to try and meet your goal. Because if you're not working, they're gonna think.
If all your parents are saying from you is that you sort of haven't put any particular energy behind anything, then I would be like harassing my kid every day, like do something.
Come on. You're telling me, oh yeah, your dreams are big and you got all this. It can be potentially amazing, but if you're not putting the work into it, if you're not showing your parents, like, look, this is becoming something, then they're not going to support you at all, because they're going to think, well, you're saying, Mom, support me, I can be something, but you're not making the foundation like they did, kind of thing. So you got to put the work into it. You got to prove it to them.
If you want your parents to respect your independent decisions, you have to work for it. If they're gonna take the hands off the wheel and let you drive, you got to show
some independence. And they think, and there's more like independent thinking than there's independent action. Like they can't put it on a plate for you, kind of thing, because they can't see your image. So you got to make it yourself. So you got to actively do something to prove it to them.
Another issue that we also acknowledge is that, this is all very well and good saying this, but not all of us are lucky enough to sort of be able to sit down with our parents, and for a lot of us the situation is agree with us or be disowned. And when you're facing that situation, it can be tough, but we're going to talk about it and see if
there's so many examples. I don't know if you know any, but one of my friends, for example, has done what her parents have told her. So she did the degree that they wanted to do, which is like a biology degree, to try and pursue a career in medicine, and etc. And she wanted to move out for her uni, so she wanted to go to Manchester, and her parents said, no, you have to stay at home because we want to keep an eye on you. The thing about that is you won't get the full university experience. You don't have that independent time to actually focus and do your work, because majority of our parents probably didn't even go to uni, so they don't actually know what it's like and what that kind of extra pressure from uni will give you. And we are the only ones who know that, and we know our own study patterns, and we know how we work. So they won't see that. So then you have to make the decision, am I going to do this by myself, or do I have to do what my mom and dad tell me and try and make it make it my own in a different way, which is sometimes harder because
It is hard.
once they got you in that clutch, they won't let you go.
They won't. And, you know, when you're facing that situation, having that strength to be like, I'm gonna step out and do this by myself. Like, I was always aware and fully ready that if my mum wasn't gonna support my dream of, you know, becoming a barrister and doing all that, I was ready to study part-time and work. It was gonna take me 4 years instead of 2, but I was ready to do that. I knew that that would be what I'd have to do because there's no way I was just gonna sit and shoulda, coulda, woulda. And having never have done it, I was ready to go off and do it. And it's the same thing my mum did. She did the exact same thing. So, and your parents will still support you even if you do it by yourself, as long as you do it with conviction.
So
passion.
is your grandma proud of your mom now?
Oh yeah.
See?
Like my grandma always talks about. My mum is actually probably her favorite child. Sorry, uncles. That's basically all we have to say. We could talk more about this, but that's just, you know, what we had to say in this video. If you are in these struggles, in this limbo between what your parents want and what you want, and particularly if you are from similar backgrounds to us, you're not alone. 1, you can get yourself out of this situation. 2, everything else and everyone else will fall into place one way or another. You will be fine.
Talk to people about it. Tell them how you're feeling, and sometimes your parents can't be as approachable, so talk to your friends, talk to other members.
Create a network.
Yeah, we can say as much as we want, but we will never know your situation. So if you try and get other people to try and understand you and give their best advice, then you gotta try and piece it together and think about, okay, so how am I gonna make myself happy and how am I gonna make it?
So that's it from us. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to see more from the Wokeness and Wellness series. Make sure you also follow me on all of my socials. Yeah, but please share this video if this is interesting to you, or if you think that people could also relate to this. You know, to share the positive messages, all you have to do is just share it to Facebook or share it on your Twitter and share it to everybody.
Talk about it.
Talk about these issues. So I will see you guys in the next video. Subscribe if you haven't yet. All right, bye.